Sports is a lot like business.
Yeah.
Each day you're trying to get a contract, you're trying to score a goal, you're trying to stay in the lineup, you're trying to get on the first line. You just keep trying and moving forward, trying to win a championship. It's kind of the same stuff with.
It's always a grind to get better.
It's a grind every single day, but that's the beauty of it, right? I mean, what else would you do besides grind?
Today we've got my good friend Bob LaChance with Riva Global, and Bob flew in from Hartford, Connecticut, to share how he went from playing professional hockey to having 1,000 VAs under management to 200 deals in 2022. What was your life like before you got into real estate?
My life, what was it like? Well, I played professional hockey like we talked about, like you said at the beginning, for 8 years, 4 years here in the U.S., 4 years in Europe, and so it was, hectic. Every year you're trying to fight for another contract. So, we talked a little bit about this. Sports is a lot like business. Each day you're trying to get a contract, you're trying to score a goal, you're trying to stay in the lineup, you're trying to get on the first line. You just keep trying and moving forward, trying to win a championship. It's kind of the same stuff with.
It's always a grind to get better.
It's a grind every single day, but that's the beauty of it, right? I mean, what else would you do besides grind?
Right. So there's really no days off.
0 days off. I mean, even in the summertime, you're running, you're exercising, you're skating, you're just looking to get better because
make sure you're not eating horribly.
You're not eating everything. So you look at it, and I look at it as your competition is going to beat you, so you have to 100% keep going.
I mean, how much is on your mind that someone else is coming for your roster spot?
Every day.
Every day.
Every single day. Same thing with our real estate business, right? In the VA business and the real estate business, it's someone's going to take that deal, right? They're going to. You have $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 checks sitting there, and someone could take it. Same exact thing.
Talk to me about like recovery and grit and what it takes, like the mental fortitude.
Well, I think you said. I mean, it is mindset. A lot of it's mindset because we're playing 3 games in 3 nights sometimes, and that's
really?
You get beat up. You get really, really beat up. First night, you're all right, but you don't really sleep that well that night. Next game, you're getting beat up. You block a shot in the ankle. Your ankle's swollen. You got to ice it up. Every game we go in the cold tank, you pull a groin or you tweak a groin or a knee, you jump in the cold tank. And I don't know if you've ever jumped in a cold tank.
Not a cold tank. I've done ice baths, but not.
It is cold. So every day you got to do that, and that's a mental grind. And just the mental, you think about the game mentally, not only physically, but mentally. We're talking about, there's guys getting called up from different organizations, from different levels, trying to take your job every single day.
Yeah.
And you're playing against the same type of guys. So they're gunning for you because they're looking to get better. They're looking to get called up or stay where they're at. So it doesn't end. It's just a grind. It's the grit every day.
Does it ever feel like a job?
100%. It was a job.
It was a job?
Yeah, 100%. And
was there a point where like hockey was a passion and then it no longer was a passion?
Towards the end of my career. Probably the last 2 years I started looking at it saying, you know what? You get tired towards the end. The summertime, you're not working as hard. You're kind of saying, all right, I know the end is near. And you're not lifting as hard. You're not running as hard. You kind of know it's coming to an end. So your mind starts changing a little bit. And that's exactly what happened to me. I knew, for me, I had my first kid. I was married. And I'm looking to say, all right, what's going to happen next? What's going to be the next step? So that's real in any athlete. And I don't know if you know this, but I have a podcast called Pucks to Properties.
Yeah.
And the mission there is to help any athlete. Right now we focus on hockey players because life after the transition is very, very difficult. You go through kind of a depression or a lull, however you want to look at it. And
a loss of identity.
Bingo. That's exactly what it is. It's lost identity. Your whole identity growing up is hockey. That's all you have. And you're trying to say, what's next?
Well, I'm kind of curious right now with a lot of this uncertainty we're experiencing in our real estate market. There are people that are getting shut out, right? Like there are people that have identified as a real estate investor, wholesaler, flipper, whatever, and business has changed a lot in the last 6 months. And if you're no longer actively wholesaling or flipping, you might lose your identity, right? So like, what are some things you're giving people that maybe have lost their identity or maybe lost some hope?
Yeah, I would say just set a goal. I mean, a lot of it's looking back at sports, it's setting goals. If I'd first start with a long-term goal and then back it into your short-term goals. The individuals, especially we're talking about, I think it's going to be really important to see who your competition is. So if you're struggling as an investor and it's your company, I would start looking at maybe some competitors, because if you start losing your identity, maybe you go work for them as an acquisition specialist, or maybe you could work for them as a dispo until you ride the wave.
Yeah.
The wave out. I think that's important, something to look at for individuals that are struggling.
Got it. And then as far as the overarching message, former hockey players that are getting into real estate, like what are you telling them to help them transition their identity?
The best thing is start working with a team.
Yeah.
When you start doing the lone wolf thing, it gets very, very difficult.
Especially right now.
Yeah, and I always say, you need a mentor, you need coaches, you need a coaching, in my opinion, coaching program, because coaching is the 100% first thing you should always do is get a coach or a mentor.
Yeah. I was talking to Kong when we were in down Tampa at CG, and we're recording video content, whatever. And one of the things that I kind of talked about was like, there's a reason why schooling exists, right? Like, did you try to figure out algebra on your own?
Yeah, no.
You try to figure out geography on your own? No, right? Like, there was like, here's how we figured out algebra. Here's how we figured out geography. Now, obviously, business is different, but this idea that I'm just gonna figure this out on my own and I don't need anybody's help,
right,
is insane.
It makes no sense to me now. I mean, there's a lot of content, of course, we know online, but there's no set. So obviously, I don't know if everybody knows this, but we're part of your program, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, your sales training, and the one thing that you do very well is you put it in a systematic order how you're going to work each call. And I think that's really important for anything. You have a mentor. How do you know how to run a business? If you're a wholesaler, you got to learn how to market, you got to learn how to negotiate, right? And you got to learn how to sell.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, that's really wholesaling in a nutshell. But if you don't have a map on how to do it, you're going to be floundering. And if you flounder, you can flounder for 2, 3, 4 years, and instead of getting a coach right away.